By now we all know about the strong possibility that Power Rangers may never get a series or movie again due to the rumors of the reboot cancellation, but there is always hope for a franchise that has been iconic for over 30 years. Now that everyone is starting to come around to the idea of Power Rangers possibly not getting a reboot, we're starting to notice that the 2017 movie could have been a good reboot and perhaps a good alternative. It's like saying we'd rather be given a plate of more or less good food, rather than being given nothing at all and left hungry. We know that we should not have the mentality of being conformists, as we all agree that Power Rangers has the potential to create a spectacular new universe and become one of the best stories of today, but that same faith is not held by the big companies. Because of this, we have to think differently and perhaps not be so demanding. This is why today I want to analyze with you if a sequel to the 2017 Power Rangers movie could be a success today and the things that would have to change for this to be possible. First, let's make it very clear that it would be much better if they would do a reboot, create a new universe and start everything from scratch. Because it looks like this is not going to happen, then that is only why we are going to put the 2017 movie universe as an option and analyze if it is worth continuing with that story. I want to start by analyzing all the negative things that this idea of creating this very different movie had, and then we're going to look at all the positive things that universe has. We all know that reboots are usually done when the franchise has already been discontinued for quite a long time, as this is one of the elements that make a reboot work, and they didn't do that with Power Rangers. When they do a reboot of a franchise that has been stopped for a long time, it causes people to be more open-minded to something totally different, and this can happen for many reasons. In addition to this, the fans are also going to miss that franchise a lot, and for that reason they are going to be waiting for the release of the new project. The most important thing about waiting a long time to create a reboot is that the new universe is going to have new fans who may not even know the original series because they may have been very young when that franchise started. This was the first disadvantage that the 2017 Power Rangers movie had, as at the time the Power Rangers franchise was still creating new seasons of the universe we have known since 1993, and maybe that's why it didn't feel like a reboot, but an alternate project. We all know that since Power Rangers has been around, we've always seen entries from different teams due to everything being created within the same universe. Don't get confused, I'm not talking about the different dimensions that the Power Rangers story has. I mean everything is created in this same universe that was created since 1993, and that's why all those teams know each other. Power Rangers 2017 is created in a different universe, and that's why there's no way that team could participate with the Rangers that we've known all our lives. This is why it was perhaps not right to start a new universe when the original universe was still alive, and it was much worse that they tried to use characters that still existed. I think this was the second serious mistake they made with this new 2017 universe, and that is that by using the most iconic characters of the franchise, the judgment is going to be more extreme. The Mighty Morphin characters are the most beloved of the entire franchise, and by using these same characters changing almost everything about them, it is very hard for fans to accept these changes. The other negative things that this new universe had were all the basic mistakes of the movie, and we have talked about that many times on this channel, but for those who haven't seen those videos, let's mention a few things. As we already mentioned, the personality change of the Mighty Morphin characters was one of the things that affected me the most as a fan, since precisely the personality of the original characters was what made me love this series. If these characters in the 2017 movie had been original characters, it is very likely that their personalities would not have affected me, and perhaps I would have accepted it better. Another mistake was the theming, as all Power Rangers teams always have a very established theme, and in that movie it just didn't feel that way. Even though the Zords looked like dinosaurs, the reality was that it didn't really come across very well in their design. In addition to this, the costumes never had the concept of dinosaurs and rather looked like futuristic alien-themed costumes. Another important thing about the essence of Power Rangers is that we didn't see weapons, and although the Rangers could create a sword with their costume, this limited many opportunities to create epic moments with weapons. One of the most impactful moments in all the Power Rangers series are the uses that the weapons have, and those scenes when the Rangers combine all their weapons to create a very powerful weapon. This we could not see in that 2017 movie, but maybe it is a good alternative for the sequel of this movie. There are many other mistakes that we can mention, but these were the most important ones, and now we must mention the positive things that can be key pieces for the success of a new movie of this same universe. The first thing to mention is the perfect moment in which the franchise finds itself, as they have finally stopped the whole universe we have known for a lifetime, and this has caused us fans to be in need of a new Power Rangers project. We are all in a desert in need of, even a single drop of water, and a Power Rangers 2017 sequel would quench this thirst. Obviously it would be better to receive a new universe, but we already talked about that at the beginning of this video, and possibly a Power Rangers 2017 sequel would be enough to quench the desire we have to have a new project of the franchise. Another very positive thing is that even though the theming was not well executed, the reality is that the special effects were impressive. We must admit that the texture of the costumes was excellent, as we have always been used to cloth costumes, and it was amazing to be able to see costumes built with another much better material. This also influenced the Zords, since, despite having a terrible design, the visual effect was very well executed. What was perfect was the Megazord, as its design was very well done, and having the visual effects of high quality was a great combination. Another positive thing was the story, since they managed to turn Power Rangers into something darker aimed at a different audience, and they did it without destroying the essence of the franchise. We have already mentioned many times that this movie did not have all the essence of Power Rangers, but in the story part they did manage to keep this essence, since we had colorful heroes, Zords, giant monsters, fights, fantasy, and an incredible power. Let's mention some things that can be improved to make a sequel more successful, and we should start by adding the sixth Ranger. When Tommy came to Power Rangers, everything was better, and I think one of the reasons was because he was a special ranger. Having a ranger different from the rest of the team gives us the diversity we need to create a more entertaining and more epic story at the same time. Seeing the original team fighting was incredible, but when Tommy arrived with the Dragon Zord, the scene was transformed into something epic. There are things they can't change, like for example the design of the Zords, since they are already created, but there are things they can add. One important thing they can add are custom weapons for each ranger and a powerful weapon by joining all these weapons together. Another thing they can add are the action sequences, those epic moments when all the rangers join together saying the same phrases, preparing for an epic attack, and then cause a big explosion. We know that maybe this can be a bit childish, but I think they can try to modify it a bit, so it doesn't look so childish and still be an epic moment. Another important detail they can add is the transformation sequence, because although we could see a very epic moment in which the Rangers managed to transform, we never saw an official transformation sequence. After listening to all this analysis, I want you to answer the question yourself in the comments. Is it worth making a sequel to the 2017 movie? If you would like to see a sequel, give this video a like and subscribe for more Power Rangers movies.